You mentioned that the administration is preparing for what is to come or what will occur after Title 42 lifts. Can you describe or provide some detail as to what the White House is anticipating when this COVID-era border restriction expires?
Not going to look. We know, and I've said this, we have tools that are in front of us that the president's going to use to deal with what we are seeing at the border. And we're doing this without help, without assistance from Congress, Republicans in Congress in particular, and we're doing everything that we can to be prepared for once Title 42 lifts. Don't have any numbers to share for you at this time. We don't have kind of speculation or hypotheticals on what will happen once Title 42 lifts.
Well, and to that end, the administration has taken unprecedented measures, be it deporting now certain non-Mexican nationals to Mexico for the first time, preparing to roll out an asylum regulation. How confident is the president that this will drive down numbers while also facing criticism from his own allies that he should not be taking these steps? And then also, is he talking to the mayors who are asking for more assistance?
So those are two separate questions. I'll take the first one as you talk about criticism from our allies. The president put forward a plan to manage the challenges that we're seeing at the border on his first day. And, again, Republicans refuse. They've refused to come to the table. They've refused to pass the plan to fund the plan that he put forward. As it relates to cities, I have said this yesterday that we are in regular communication with cities, mayors in cities across the country. They are also in regular touch with border communities, and we'll be awarding an additional $290 million in the upcoming weeks to support them. So that is the assistance that we are providing to them. We are committed to managing this challenge.
Yesterday, with the announcement on 1,500 troops going to the border, does the administration plan to take any additional steps in the days ahead? Do you feel ready for what may be coming next on the border?
Republicans need to stop doing political stunts and need to come to the table and deal with this in a bipartisan way. The president has taken this very seriously. As you all know, on the first day of this administration, he put forth a comprehensive immigration.
This agreement was announced, overnight between the U.S. and Mexico. Can you just help us understand how many migrants will Mexico continue to accept under this new agreement, and for how long? They had agreed to I believe, 30,000 a month.
So just a couple of things so folks are aware. So while Republicans continue to push to lay off 2,000 Border Patrol agents, we are firing on all cylinders to prepare for the return to Title VIII. We're using all the tools available to us. I don't have a number to share at this time, but this is something that, again, we're taking very seriously as we head towards the lifting of Title VIII on May 11th.
As part of this agreement, though, Mexico has agreed to continue accepting migrants from these 4 countries that have been turned away at the U.S. border. As part of this agreement, is the U.S. providing any funding to Mexico?
So, not going to get into, these are diplomatic conversations that are happening, diplomatic discussions, certainly not going to get into that from here.
Karine, when it comes to immigration, obviously the administration wants immigration reform, but why hasn't the president brought in congressional leaders and tried to show leadership and come up with some kind of compromise that could pass?
We've shown leadership. We showed leadership on day one. On day one, by putting forth a piece of legislation to deal with comprehensive immigration reform. That's the leadership that this president showed on day one, to show his commitment, because Congress doesn't want to help. We've called out Congress and we've spoken to Congress many times.